Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way. When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person.
It's funny because your dad was like a clown, right? And then a magician. I'm really curious if that's kind of what made you want to go into comedy.
Yeah. You know, when I said I wanted to do comedy, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, I know a lot of parents are like, what is this? I mean, mine, they almost expected it. They're like, yeah, someone's going to do something weird.
They're like, I would hope so.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'd have said, like, I'm an accountant, they'd been like, all right.
We're so disappointed in you.
Yes.
How dare you throw your life off track like that?
Yeah. I mean, do you think when you get to heaven, you will have a few things to say to God?
Oh, no. I don't think anyone has anything to say to God.
Yeah.
If you get to heaven, you're like, I'm just happy that I'm here right now.
You
and
don't
also,
think you'd have a couple, like, a couple little notes?
Dusty and I have had some Bible talks. It's not fun at all because, like, one time me, him, and his buddy Matt were talking about heaven, and Matt and I were like, man, we could probably finally dunk a basketball if we can fly. And Dusty said, you'll be bowing down in almighty fear to the Lord.
Yeah.
We're like, come on, dude, we're just trying to have fun.
Yeah.
Well, I do
You'll
think
be
it's true.
fear
I do
trembling.
think it's true.
It's going to be hard to dunk when you're on your knees bowing to the Lord. And you're like, all right, well, I mean, there's got to be some time we're going to shoot some hoop. You don't think there's like a moment?
Well, I think, initially, once you get through,
Yeah.
then there's some free time. But in the beginning, I don't.
I'm not talking about shooting hoops as soon as I show
I don't
up.
think the first step is dunking a basketball.
Yeah. They call that purgatory.
Yeah.
What? No,
I just had to throw in a little Catholic theology there just to get us
What's
through.
purgatory? Like
It's kind of like you're on the way to heaven. You're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Waiting place, right?
Waiting.
But I think when you're in purgatory, you're like, you still may not get in, right?
No, it's kind of you're
it's
not
good.
you're not gonna like bomb in purgatory and go to hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're in there. You can stay in purgatory though, right?
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. So you might never make it.
It might be an instant. It
Yeah.
might be a million years.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
But you think purgatory is like a doctor's office lobby?
Yeah.
Kind of.
It would be like if you could dunk in heaven, purgatory would be like you'd be able to like touch the bottom of the net.
Oh yeah.
And you're like
So basically like on Earth.
it's a little better than Earth.
Yeah.
It's like
I can't touch the net.
You can do a layup and slap the backboard.
Okay. All right.
And you're like, but you're not. It's like you can't palm the ball to dunk it.
I mean, even my dad growing up had to go to an outhouse.
Yeah,
It's like, it blows my mind.
Every time.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I guess you could just go outside, but it's like, we have a bathroom in our house that I had to get the toilet fixed. And I was like, I got to go into the bedroom every time. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, imagine having to go out back every time.
Sometimes I wish we should probably bring that back.
well, you want to go pee outside.
No, let's just separate all of it.
Oh, have
From
the
the
bathroom outside.
Yeah. Just have it all out there.
Yeah.
That'd be better for everybody.
Yeah. That seems like a lot. Like it's pretty obvious when it's like, all right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't care about that, but I just like to
You
keep
hit the
every-
garage, you go, you get in your car, drive over to the
drive to
your
the
bathroom,
outlet.
go to your bathroom house that you have built.
Growing up, I lived in a trailer with one bathroom, and my brother-in-law he was a bigger guy. He would go to the gas station if he needed to poop because he was like, that's gonna
it's gonna ruin the house.
he would just go to the gas station.
Yeah,
That
good
gas
for him,
station.
right?
Yeah.
I've done that before.
That gas station just like, oh my God. They're just like, here we you hear their little and then you just see him grab a paper and
Never buys anything.
puts the paper back and goes, all right, I'll see y'all in a couple hours. And again,
See y'all after dinner.
yeah.
Do we talk about that's the theory that Disney did that with the movie Frozen? That they were trying to bury search results about Walt Disney's frozen head. So
I've
they
heard
named
that,
the movie
yeah.
Frozen.
Oh,
So
really?
if
Wow.
you Google Disney Frozen, all of that's pushed to the side.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's a conspiracy theory I like to bring to the table.
Yeah. That's a fun one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that. makes that much sense to me, though.
What do you mean?
I don't think enough people are Googling his frozen head.
They were before.
Yeah, but not. I don't think that was.
What were they hoping to look up?
Because then you could just go Disney's frozen, Walt Disney's frozen head, and you'd be like, okay, now I'm back to exactly what I want.
You just add head to it.
Yeah, you add head to it, your game's over.
Well, look. Yeah, but if you Google Disney Frozen, I mean, it's all the movie.
But I mean, I don't know if I would Google Disney Frozen if I was looking for his frozen head.
Try frozen head.
Disney frozen head.
Try Frozen head. I'm sure.
No, Disney frozen head.
Yeah,
because that's what you would do. I mean,
if you're listening, there it is.
Yeah, it's a bunch of stuff. You're right.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't say it's the best conspiracy theory in the world. I just said.
If the movie were called Frozen
somebody-
Head, then that would be
Disney's frozen head. About a princess.
Cryogenically frozen head. Yeah, that would bury it.
Yeah.
And he goes, that about Walt? Is his head frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the head? They didn't do the whole body?
I think the head was taken off the body.
Like Ted Williams.
This is what they don't want us to know.
Yeah.
So they named the movie Frozen. I think, look, they didn't let's create a movie called Frozen to bury this stuff. But I think somebody in marketing was like, oh, that'll be nice. Call it Frozen. And knowing in the back of their head, it's a nice little ancillary
Walt
benefit.
would have wanted this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
All right.
I mean, I don't think I believe either, but it's again funny that's the one conspiracy theory you guys won't get on board with.
I know.
Yeah.
Like the most basic one too.
Well,
that's crazy.
Aaron's being ridiculous.
Last year, my dad he's doing a show. He does these magic shows in prisons. And during the show, one of the inmates just stands up and says, "I know your son," which is probably not the best place as a father to hear that. Just like, "I know your boy. He keeps his mouth shut. He's good people." So my dad, he goes, "Hey," he's like, "All right." He goes, "How do you know my son?" And he was one of the guys that carried me up those stairs that day. I was 12 years old, and we've never known who carried me up those stairs. And then his brother saw me on the Tonight Show and was like, "That's that kid that we carried up those stairs that day." So it's pretty crazy. And so since then, I've been actually bringing him out to shows, and I'm going to bring him out tonight. And no, he's not here. He's in prison. But yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Trust me. Look, he would love to be here. Trust me. I mean, yeah, he'd kill to be here, to be honest. But someone gave me an Under Armour shirt. Do you know those? It's like skin tight. Like it just shows the worst parts of your body. I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. You know, like in plastic surgery, how they draw like markers on you and stuff? Like they should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see where we're going to go after the target areas. I always tell people I got to get back in shape, but I mean, I've never been in shape. So I went to career day for my daughter's school, and I get what I do is very fun. But I was nervous because I'm there with real people and they're smart. And so I was hoping to sit at a table alone. They put me at a table with a surgeon, which I think they did it on purpose, almost to show the kids, here's the difference between reading. So the kids like come up, and they're like, what subjects do you use for comedy? And I was like, I don't even know what the subjects they're taking. I was like, I do English. I do mostly English on stage. They asked him, how long did you go to school to be a surgeon? And he's like 54 years or whatever. It's like and they asked me, they're like, how long to be a comedian? It's getting very advanced. I've been to a dog bakery. I've been to a dog bakery in my life. I went in there and no one was in there. The lady was looking at me like, are you here to buy this store for me? That was her only hope. She said her and her husband bought the store for their 27-year-old daughter who graduated from college with a degree and came out of college and said, I want to own a dog bakery. I want to make cakes for dogs. Which if I asked my 6-year-old what she wants to do when she grows up, I think she'll tell me she wants to make cakes for dogs. And I'm going to tell her that she can do whatever she wants to do, hoping she doesn't turn 27 and go, let's talk about those cakes for those dogs. I got a reversible jacket at home, and I have 2 of them because I didn't know it was reversible. Bought them at the same time. Tried them both on separately. Like the black one, thought might as well get the blue one too. Went and laid them up there, and I remember they go, "Are you sure?" I go, "Yeah, I think I know what I'm doing here, right?" Do you ever get in those fights, you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway? That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway, and you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, "Oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead." She'll be watching TV, I'm like, "Ma'am, are you watching this?" I couldn't tell, I was going to change it if you weren't watching it. I remember nothing from school. People talk about history to me, and I'm like, I don't know when you guys learned that. I think we skipped all of this. I almost didn't graduate high school. I had an F in science. I was taking a class called science my senior year in high school. I mean, I had an F, and my dad went and talked to the teacher and just said, "Look, just give him a D. He's not going to do science stuff." And the teacher agreed to it. She was that confident I wouldn't touch the science world. We took ACTs, and I got a 17 on it. And if you don't know ACTs, I mean, 18 they're like, "That's not good, man, but you made it." 17, they're like, "Are you enrolled in this school? Like, what are you doing?" Me and my wife, we were in Nashville last summer, and we went out on the lake with some of our friends, and we were like floating around the water, and there was a guy in a boat like right next to us, and my wife was like, "Oh, that's my ex-boyfriend in that boat." My friends were like, "You should have went and tried to fight him. Why didn't you go fight him?" And I was like, "Well, I would have had to swim over to that fight." So I don't know how intimidating that is for a guy to see a head in a life jacket floating his way. And then I got to get in the boat, you know? Like, have you ever tried to climb into a boat from water? It's not aggressive. It takes an hour if no one is in the boat. Like, if he's in there, I'm never going to get in. I would need his help. I'd be like, "Could you help me into this boat?" I can't tell you why, but I really need in this boat.
Once I was checking a bag, and the guy behind the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, "This is not good." He goes, "These names don't match." And I was like, "But they match, right?" Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, "But they're not the same." I was like, "But they're the same." And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point. I mean, he can't handle that. He's going to call the police over to be like, "There's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something." So I was like, "What do you want me to do?" And he goes, "You should go home." That's all I honestly said. I said, "Look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through it." It's great having a kid. I've been married for 7 years, and so now we just have a 1-year-old daughter. So it's getting pretty serious. And this is what took it over the edge. We were living in New York when my daughter was to be born, but I'm from Tennessee, so we flew home and my daughter was born in Tennessee. I didn't want her to be born in New York. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So I was like, "You start where we start, all right? How about that?" It was wild. Does anybody have kids here? Or a couple? One person, all right. The rest is like, when I die, this city dies with, all right. Yeah. It's wild. I remember on the way to the hospital, like, I told my wife, I was like, "Look, I don't want to see anything, all right? It's going to be gross." I wish it was like the 50s when they didn't even let men in the hospital. But it's not. Now, like, doctors are like, "Do you want to deliver the baby? Why don't you do most of it?" They just pull the baby out, and then they're like, they just tell you, they're here, cut the umbilical cord. They just tell you to do it like real fast. Like, I didn't take a class. They just act like I'm the guy that cuts umbilical cords at the hospital. I almost cut the wrong part, and they were like, "That's not right." I was like, "Oh, maybe, you should jump in. You did go to doctor school for this." I don't know why I'm doing minor surgery right now. And then they just hand you your baby, and they're like, "All right, we'll see ya." And that's when you're like, "I'd really like your help now. Like, I need you to live with me," or something like that. The first question I asked, they should have probably kept. I was holding her. I was like, how much do you feed it? I bet it's a lot. It seems like it'd be a lot. It sounded like I was buying a hamster at a pet store. The big thing they tell you, the number one thing they say, they're really big on they're like, whatever you do, let's just try not to shake this baby. That's like the number one goal. And they tell it to you, like they're almost like, obviously you're going to want to shake the baby, but it would be so awesome if you just did not shake this baby. That would be the best. And then they showed me a video of a guy that's like, here's what I do instead of shaking my baby. Like he was like, I take walks, for instance. You know, I walk 70 miles a day or something. I walk a lot. Then I signed a certificate like I was in kindergarten that said, all right, I promise. I swear to God, I won't shake the baby. Quit asking me about this. I've never heard the word shake so much in my entire life. That's all we talked about. And the first night we got her home, she was like, you know, you're like delirious. You're just confused and tired. And she was like crying for like 6 hours. And I was like sitting there, I was like, wait, are we supposed to shake this baby? Like, is this when we do it? This seems like when you would do it. But we didn't shake her, so it's cool. We have rocked her aggressively, but she had to go, went to the doctor to get when she was 9 months old, you have to do a 9-month-old checkup. So we go to the doctor, and she has to get a shot. And it's the worst, when babies get shots, because they don't know what's going on. She's just looking at us being like, this day's going unbelievable. I don't see what could go wrong, you know? What could go wrong? Why would anything go wrong? And then you're looking at her like it's about to all go wrong. You don't even sort of understand how wrong it's going to be. So she gets the shot, so we go to grab her, you know, because we're going to hold her and console her. But she doesn't cry. She's just fine with the shot. And, we're just sitting there, the doctor's surprised. My wife's like, maybe this is a sign that she's going to be, a powerful woman, you know, a strong girl. And I was like, maybe. We should also see if she's going to be a psycho. Who doesn't cry when they get a shot? Maybe that's what we should look into. That doesn't make you nervous? I would cry if you gave me a shot. She's already fine with pain at 9 months old. In 20 years, I'm either going to be telling her, look, we love you so much, and we're happy that you've accomplished everything. Or I will be on the news going, we love you, but you need to turn yourself in right now. Just do the right thing. If I can go back in time, I'm trying to get in better shape and stuff. I don't know how to work out. I should run it. For me, workout should be let's just walk to McDonald's. That'd be a good start. Maybe stand up and eat it. See if that does something. I choose 0. I tried to take an MMA, a mixed martial arts class. I made it one day. I don't know how to fight. I didn't want to fight. I thought it was going to be just some guy making me punch a bag. And the first day I go in there, he just pairs me up with some 16-year-old kid that wants to fight for a living and wasn't raised by human people. And they're like, why don't y'all just go at it? And I was like, I think it's so we have different goals. Maybe that's why we should not go at it. I believe he's training for the Hunger Games. You know? I just want you to not be able to see my nipples through my shirt. So we should do levels. I did a show in a prison once. All the way in it. We went in it. There's few more people than this. We go in, let's say you guys are the inmates. So I'm sitting here, I'm doing my dumb jokes. None of them work. Every joke I have involves being outside in the past 30 years. Nothing's relatable. I'm traffic's crazy. Do you guys remember? Who remembers traffic? An inmate gets up and starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. You know, I've seen movies, he's going to use me to break out. So
I don't want to point at him, you know, but I am trying to draw. I'm like, the weather's been like pretty crazy. Should he be walking up like that? Turns out he's just going to the bathrooms. They're right behind me. He's a good guy. I judged him on what he was wearing and where we were at. Homework's fun. First and second grade was awesome. Third grade, you're like, okay. They throw some stuff in. You're like, oh, all right. All right. It's, okay. Learning it earlier than we used to, huh? I don't even know if that's true, but... She brought home Common Core math. That's fun. It's a new math they invented. No heads up. Just give it to parents that never learned it. It's just a whole new... I mean, it's unbelievable. Why when they bring it home, you got to watch a 40-minute YouTube video on Common Core math. I don't even understand it. If you know it, if you don't know Common Core, it's just a new math. And the goal of Common Core is to use one sheet of paper for every problem. You just want to keep breaking the problem down. You put the problem at the top, and it just keeps going. And then what's even funnier is you see old math in the middle of it. As you break it down, old math gets in there, and you're like, oh, just do that at the top. I don't even know what we're doing. And it's not like old math isn't working. I mean, old math's doing... I don't get incorrect change everywhere just going, this stupid old math. It's a long way to get at the same answer. I told my wife, I go, it feels like if you knocked on my front door and I opened it, and you say, can I come in? And I was like, do you mind walking in and coming in through the back door? And you'd be like, does the front door not work? I'm like, no, it works. I use it. A lot of people still use it. But the new way is to go jump the fence and come in the back and meet me at this same spot. Well, even though I make fun of Common Core, I have learned stuff from elementary homework, which is embarrassing. I'm 41. My daughter's 8. Nothing should ever come out of her mouth that I'm like, what? What was that? I learned when to use a or an in a sentence. I mean, I didn't know that there was a rule in play. I thought you felt it out, you know? You just go, that feels right, and that's what you do. I do the same thing with a comma. I never known where a comma's supposed to go. If I feel a comma's coming, I try to get out of that sentence so bad. I mean, and if I can, I just put a comma and see if someone says something, you know? If they're like, is that a comma? I'm like, isn't my comma button has been sticking on my phone. So, my dad goes to the doctor, and they were like, do you use Afrin? And he goes, no. And the doctor was like, I can see that you use it. I was just saying that. He goes, how long have you been using it? My dad said 5 years, which is a lie. But my mom was there, and she goes, how about 45 years? That's how long he's used it, 45 years. The back of the box says no more than 3 days. There's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run. Our DJ was awful, and that's because we got my mom to hire the DJ. I don't know who thinks to ask someone in their 50s for DJ recommendations. No one ever is like, Mom, were you in with the local DJ scene by any chance? She hired someone older than her. He just had CDs, and this was when computers were doing real good. He got super drunk, played the same song 3 times in a row. White Wedding, which he said was by Billy Joel. He only had one leg, seriously, and that's fine, you know. No one. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently. And it's a tough thing to do, you know. Nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now. And she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke, and she would have loved that joke, so don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker. So in our neighborhood, we live in a cul-de-sac, which is very exciting. Because I grew up on a straight street, and I always dreamed of living in a cul-de-sac. You see them, and you're like, can you imagine being up in one of those? We do all the cul-de-sac stuff, you know, like if anybody comes down there, we're like, what are you doing down? Just any car, we're like, you better get out of our cul-de-sac. We take our trash out one of the days. I don't know the day, but it's a day. We do it. There is one day. I know we forgot to take it out a couple weeks ago. That stress could break up a family. all week was like, everybody eat out of your hands. We had friends over, like, put your trash in your pockets, take it to your homes. So me and my buddy, we rented a car. He's driving. On the way out there, I see a dead horse just laid out in this guy's yard. And I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, I bet you don't think about that when you buy a horse, it dying. You know, what do you do? That's a huge thing, dying in your yard. You can't just scoot it off into the woods with your foot and try to get another one that matches before the kids come home. You have to tell your wife to keep the kids away for a month. You got to Google how to move a dead horse. You got to probably try to get another horse to help you do it. And that's not easy. That's what the blinders were invented for. Because it's like, just look ahead. Don't worry about what's going on back. No, look. Or you got to get your friends to help you do it. And you can't spill the beans too quick on that. You think it's hard for them to help you move a couch? Try a dead horse. You got to lie to them, like, we're getting a divorce. Just come over. Bring your truck and some gloves. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to, like, answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. That's a stupid question. And I tell her that, all right? Because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about, like, adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas, you know? We recycle, you know, and we recycle because of my wife. It's her, she gets all the credit for that. I would never recycle if I was by my, I don't do it if she's not looking at me. So I would never do it if I was alone. I looked up a list of, like, all right, like, what are you supposed to do for global warming as an individual? And it was a big, long list. But the first thing on the list was my favorite. It just said, just talk to your friends and family about it. Think about your friends and family. Like, not the ones that are the good ones, close. Think about how far out it goes. Just when you guys get together, like, do you mind if we talk about global warming for a little? I just thought this would be a good time to get into it. I had a great aunt and uncle fist fight each other at a wedding. Let me get in the middle of that fight. Any chance this fight was about global warming? Because I just would love to get that conversation rolling, you know? I get it. It's for our kids and their kids, and we want to make sure they have a good earth and their environment and stuff. We don't want to have a bad earth. And we don't want them to be mad at us and yell at us. But I don't think they will, because I don't think we get mad. I don't ever see litter on the ground and call my grandmother and be like, where do you get off? You know? I don't know how you show your face anymore, all right? It's cloudy today. Is that because you smoked on planes? Probably. Why'd you have to smoke that high? Where do you think that smoke was going? We did stuff as a kid. I did Earth Day as a kid. I think they still do Earth Day. And we did it. I'm from Old Hickory, and we were a plant, like DuPont plant we were a plant town. So they had a plant, and we went and planted trees in front of the DuPont plant. And there was just black smoke coming out of this, like, and we're just in front of it, like, this is for Earth. And if you can't even see us, it's so dark. And we're just like, this is for the Earth of stuff, and we're going to breathe better. And you're like, I don't know if that's the problem. My wife and I, we got in the fight over the phrase one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. My wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? When you marry into divorce, I mean, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? She wanted to go visit her parents, and shit, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years, she's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband. And goes, perfect. Use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents. And I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop. You know, let's swoop it up. I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. I mean, over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just like waited, and she didn't say anything, and I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, she goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home when you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. I mean, that's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And then she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it. You know, that was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was like laid there and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? And the next morning I get up and I kind of still wanted to talk about it because we didn't talk all night, you know. So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know. That got it going real good. But I felt so good about this argument, you know. I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Her marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So I've changed my drink up since then, and I honestly did it because I don't think I say milk good. I was having this one problem, and I was like, I'm just not going to say milk. So now I drink iced coffee with cream. That's all I changed it to. I'm tired of saying milk. That's all. They kept giving me milk with ice. So I was like, I'm going to say cream, you know? They can't do cream with ice. That's against the law. So I'll get rid of the one problem that I had. And I've only been drinking coffee for maybe 4 years. Not very long. I only order this one little drink. I get very nervous when I order coffee because it's a whole world, and I don't know the world, you know? They always ask you a bunch of stuff. Like, they're like, what kind of cream? I'm like, just please do it. Just do it. You know? Sometimes they're like, do you want heavy cream or half and half? And I'll go, I'm sorry, I'm not taking questions right now. So if you could just do whatever you think it is, and if it's wrong, I won't even tell you. How about that? I will walk out of here. That's the next phase of my life. Getting up early, you know. We're getting up at 9:15, a little bit. Yeah, I've never seen my daughter go to school, but I've been close. I'm cold now, too, that I'm old. 45, I just get cold. I always have to bring a jacket. It could be 135 degrees outside, and I will walk around with a jacket. And I see these young people, and I just think, where are your jackets? My body's falling apart. My shoulder hurts because I stand on stage like this.
crazy. This was a huge mistake to get into this. If I had known that this would be a big problem, I would have probably tried to not make it a habit. My body can't handle this. And I went to the doctor to try to fix it, and they talked to me like I was an old car. He just goes, I wouldn't put any more money into it, to be honest. I pulled a muscle recently. I guess it was in my soul. I mean, it was dead middle of my body. I thought it was the front, and then I was like, well, that back hurts too. So. Well, what's in the middle? What muscle is in the middle? I watched Pearl Harbor. I was as surprised as they were, I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books. But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds?
We got married on Friday the 13th. Got a pretty sweet deal on that. They were wide open. We were like, what times are available? They go, every one of them, all 24. You can call us that day if you want. Her brother married us. That was free. The photographer was just a buddy of ours that had he just bought a new camera. So we were like, you gonna do our wedding? Never done anything professionally, and it showed. His camera stopped working during it, and he started taking stuff out of it. Like, that would be the problem. It's like, yeah, you know what? I bet they put too much stuff inside of it when they built it. You should yank some of those wires. That's not supposed to be in there like that. I feel like in a marriage, you have one of you is a dreamer. Money's not real. Let's have fun. Let's go do fun stuff as much as we can. And the other person hates fun. And that's how you make a marriage. You can't have two dreamers. You're going to be homeless in an hour. You need someone that just walks around. Is fun happening? I'd like to put a stop to that. Are y'all having fun? Stop it. Is the air conditioner on? Turn it off. I married my dad, is who I married. Our daughter would put birthday cone hats on her, and one slipped over her eye, and it was like that for 6 hours. I was just trying to see how long, how's it accidentally not coming off? And she was just going about her day, just eating, drinking, yeah, I can't see all that eye no more, all right? That's the cards I was dealt, and that's okay. And then I pulled it off of her, and she's like, oh, I didn't know you were a doctor. And I'm like, I am a doctor. Just two dumb animals talking to each other. I used to watch a show called Rescue 911, and it would just show reenactments of crimes, and it was powerful. I've seen 3 seconds of Rescue 911. I remember walking through the living room, my parents are watching it, I look at the TV, a guy has a ski mask on, and a woman is asleep with her feet out from under the covers, and he started rubbing her foot. That's all I saw. I kept walking. I don't know what happened before or after, but I know I've never been able to sleep with my feet out from under the covers. Because I accidentally saw that 30 years ago. And my feet get so hot, and I want to put them out so bad. I mean, I try it every night for 30 years, and then that image pops in my head, and I yank them right back under. I'll be in a hotel room, and I'm like, look, you can't get in here, dude. You've locked everything. And I'm like, that's exactly what he's been waiting for. He's probably already in. Walmart guy. I think I'm in the middle, I'm not Kmart. I'm not Target, I'm not old money. I don't think I'm better than everybody. I'm just right in the middle. You ever go to Kmart? Kmart doesn't even look open when you go in there. You just walk in, you're like, you guys about to close? Are you getting looted or something? They're like, no, we're open. Are you? Are you going to cut the lights on that side of the store? Maybe get some stuff, you know? Kmart looks like where you go buy stuff if you're about to open a new Kmart. If you needed shelves for your Kmart, you'd go in there. Our DJ was awful, and that's because we got my mom to hire the DJ. I don't know who thinks to ask someone in their 50s for DJ recommendations. No one ever is like, Mom, were you in with the local DJ scene by any chance? She hired someone older than her. He just had CDs, and this was when computers were doing real good. He got super drunk, played the same song 3 times in a row. White Wedding, which he said was by Billy Joel. He only had one leg, seriously, and that's fine, you know, no one cares until he starts messing up, and then you're like, why does he have one leg? I want to do Thanksgiving at their house, but they don't have the room for us. There's like 20 of us. It's like a college kid being like, you don't do Christmas in my dorm room? There's a table for 4, and then they have to put a train of TV trays and nightstands that just weaves down this hallway. I mean, you're sitting on stairs. We made the kids go eat in the car. We just go back in the car. You can't even eat inside. My mom didn't have ketchup. I was like, everybody just has ketchup. It just comes in houses. If I went to some alcoholic's house, he would have ketchup. His whole family would be gone. But I would say, do you have ketchup? He'd be like, I'm not that kid. He had 2 goldfish. So he grabbed one of them. He squeezed it. It exploded. It's pretty crazy. I don't feel bad for that goldfish. You know, he died quickly. I feel bad for the other goldfish that just has to deal with that trauma now. You know how insane that would be? They're not going to buy this kid another fish. He's killing them. Like, he's got to... Imagine if you're locked in a room with someone and they just exploded. It would change your life forever. It's the worst life ever. My wife planned the wedding, and they're both cheap. We got married on Friday the 13th. Got a pretty sweet deal on that. They were wide open. We were like, what times are available? They go, every one of them, all 24. You can call us that day if you want. Her brother married us. That was free. The photographer was just a buddy of ours that had he just bought a new camera. So we were like, you gonna do our wedding? Never done anything professionally, and it showed. His camera stopped working during it, and he started taking stuff out of it. Like, that would be the problem. Like, it's like, yeah, you know what? I bet they put too much stuff inside of it when they built it. You should yank some of those wires. That's not supposed to be in there like that. Joined the Army when I was 18 just because they called. That was the only reason. I thought I got picked. I was like, oh, wow, this is an honor. Like, I also signed up for a JCPenney credit card at 18 because they called, and I was like, man, this day is getting crazier and crazier. I would love it. I would love a credit card. I just got called for the Army. I'll go get some stuff. My mom had to go get me out of all of that. My mom had to call the Army and JCPenney in the same day. She was like, he's not doing any of this. He got to the phone quicker than he usually does. So remedial classes. It's like, they just helped me move. Someone gave me an Under Armour shirt. Do you know those? It's like skin tight. It just shows the worst parts of your body. I look better without a shirt on than with that shirt on. You know, like in plastic surgery, how they draw like markers on you and stuff? Like, they should just put you in that shirt and be like, obviously you can see where we're going to go after the target areas. I always tell people I got to get back in shape, but I mean, I've never been in shape. He gets to it. It's batter and syrup. They're in clear containers. They're not labeled, but they're in clear containers. He gets the syrup and starts pouring it on the wall for him. And I'm not even stopping him because he's not doing it where he's going, I've never done that. He's doing it where we're probably going to try it after. I mean, he's just like, you're like, dude, I can't wait to see what this guy's making. Like, he might know something that I don't know. He shuts it, turns it over, it cooks. He's like looking at us. We're like, I mean, the whole line's like, yeah, what is that going to be? And it makes black smoke is what it makes. Dark black smoke. Just starts filling the lobby. The manager comes over. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, I guess I poured the wrong one. These are not labeled. And the guy's like, they're in clear containers. Do you not know the difference of batter and syrup? And he's like, I bet it happens all the time. He goes, I've worked here my whole life and I've never seen wedding. It was not good. This is not my fault. This was my mom and my wife planned the wedding, and they're both cheap. So they cut corners. If we hire someone to do something at our house, I promise he does not do that job full time. He'll be fixing our dishwasher and we're like, do you paint houses? And he's like, yeah, I probably could paint houses, you know? His business card says, how hard could it be, right? Can't be that hard. I wanted to play college basketball. That didn't work out. It didn't work out because I got cut every year for my high school basketball team. So I had to play for my church because the church cannot cut you. They have to let you play, which is nice. That's a good, I guess they could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. Yeah, he is our captain. She had no awareness about her, like the senses that dogs have. We had turkeys in our backyard once, and I let her out to go chase these turkeys. Retired hunting dog. Figured that's fun. And we have a very normal backyard. It's not Yellowstone Park. You can see all of it at all times. I push her out, and she just pees and then comes back in the house. Never sees the turkeys. And I was just looking at her like, you didn't feel anything? Like nothing was going? Like I sensed it as a human on the couch. I felt there was turkeys outside. You want to take just one lap around, see if... The guy used her a lot for duck hunting. So he would shoot a duck. She's supposed to run and go get it and then bring it back. So what I like to picture is he shoots the duck. She runs out, comes back, no duck. And she's like, I don't even know what we're doing. All right, I did not. A million things flew in the air when you shot that gun. And I'm supposed to know which one you hit. And the guy's just looking at her. And then she's like, you're not even the guy that I came out here with. Do you see? Is there another guy out here by any chance? Our daughter would put birthday cone hats on her. And one time one slipped over her eye. And it was like that for 6 hours. I'm married. I'm still married, and thanks. Yeah, I like to say it, like I'm at the same job. Just like, still work there. Yeah, right out of high school. Only job I applied for. My wife will tell me that she always says that I don't like the way she talks, and it's not her voice. I like the sound of her voice. That'd be a big problem, I think, if it was like, it's your voice. I just hate it. Just to go to couples therapy and be like, can you hear it right? Like, it's not, it's not fun. It's the information that she chooses to tell me at times. We took a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale. And her and our daughter are flying from Nashville, where we live. And I'm flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off. And I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? She goes, noon. And it was 11:30 and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she said, that's what time you leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She said, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? Like you've been around people before, We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that. She's good at not talking to me. She can go a long time. She could do her whole marriage career. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV that probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, you know, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. Do you ever get in those fights, like you'll be at home, like by you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway? That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway. And you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me, sorry, yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV, I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell, I was going to change it if you weren't watching it. It's the silent treatment. The silent treatment is, it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like, my mom did it and her mom. 2020 has been my favorite year. Out of all the years, this has been the best one. I mean, there's aliens. They said there's UFOs. And no one cares. What kind of year could you have that you could sneak in? Hey, everybody, on the news. They're at the end of the news. They go, there's UFOs. And you're like, oh, do they have COVID? And you're like, no. Like, I don't know. They won't get tested. But I told my wife that. I said, they said there's UFOs. And she just went about her day. I mean, you might even watch this and be like, oh, I didn't even hear that. And that's the point. That's how amazing 2020 has been. I also feel this is a good year to see where your friends are at. You know, like you want to be in the middle, I think. And I got friends that they take a shower with their mask on and they sleep with the mask on because they have a hamster and the hamster probably has it and they live alone. It's just them and the hamster. And I also have friends that I don't think have even heard about COVID. It looks like someone told them to try to go get it. That's how they're living. I have a lot of friends too that they tell me they already had it. They're like, I had it. I had a fever. February, had a fever for a couple hours, so probably had it. I had one friend, he told me he had it in 2015. Convinced. He goes, I had it in 2015. I was the first, and it just didn't catch on like it has now. But
we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out.
It's the Montreal Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. Kevin Hart presents LOL at KFM.
I don't know, I'm a pretty dumb guy. Pretty dumb. It's fine, though. I don't know. I went to Honduras, another place I know, cause I was at the airport and the guy was like, I was like, I'm going to Honduras. He was like, what city? And I was like, I'm just learning right now that's not the name of the city. So. Just wherever other people are going, probably. Let's just go there and figure it out. We get to the base, and the guy, he's like telling us about Honduras, and he's like, you got to be careful. He's like, you got to really look out for snakes. There's a lot of venomous snakes here. So when you walk around, just keep an eye out. And he was like, now if you get bit by a snake, the best thing to do is then just go ahead and catch the snake and bring it, so then we know like what snake bit you. I was like, dude, I'm pretty positive that's like exactly what you're not supposed to, like, I've never seen that ever on Animal Planet. Like, someone gets bit and then they gotta be like, now I gotta get it. I was like, I'm not gonna do it. I was like, that doesn't make sense. I've never caught a snake in my life. And then when I got bit for the first time, I got to get it together and catch a snake. I was like, it's not going to go good, man. I was like, he's going to keep biting me. That's all that's going to happen. And he was like, it doesn't matter. Like, you've already been bit. And I was like, do you even know what a snake is? It completely matters. There's a huge difference between one bite and probably 30 bites. That's what we're going to be at if I try to catch this snake. Who told you this? The snake? Is that who told you to tell me all of this? Whose side are you on? It's great to be doing a show with two comics that are from another country, and they know way more about my country than I even know. Like if there was a test or something, I would be like, I don't know a lot of it. I would be like, I love it more than they do. So can I just write that down and everything? Just be like, love. What was the 13th president? Doesn't matter. I love him anyway. No matter what he was. Is that? If we just put that. If I tell people I was buying a hammock, is that going to come off like I'm bragging? For some reason, in my head, that's just a wealthy purchase. That's a hammock at Walmart. An audience would be like, whoa, all right. I didn't know we were just hearing about how good you're doing. Man, what's it like to have two trees that close together? Is it nice? I heard it looks nice. I've seen pictures. I always get home late doing comedy, and my wife will be asleep, so I'll go in, I fix something to eat, I'll watch TV, I'll be home for an hour, then I hear my wife from the bedroom, and she'll be like, Nate, is that you? You better hope to God it's me. You have let some murderer get quite comfortable in this house. He is eating. Martial arts class, I made it one day. I don't know how to fight. I didn't want to fight. I thought it was going to be just some guy making me punch a bag. And the first day I go in there, he just pairs me up with some 16-year-old kid that wants to fight for a living and wasn't raised by human people. And they're like, why don't y'all just go at it? And I was like, I think it's so we have different goals. Maybe that's why we should not go at it. I believe he's training for the Hunger Games. I just, you know what? I'm going to go get in that mosh pit. But then once you get in it, you're like, I do not want to be in this mosh pit at all. I am going to leave and go get some beer. Then the mosh pit's like, didn't you drink last night? All right, mosh pit, why don't you get off my back and let me live my life? I rewatched the movie Six. This is what marriage feels like, what it feels like in here right now. Just one person talking, the other's like, I'm going to get out of here. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to answer my 6-year-old's questions. If she's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. It's a stupid question. I tell her that, all right? Because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about adult stuff that you're supposed to know about.
Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas,